Welcome back to the coin world, old coin review and value. Today, we explore the fascinating a humble coin with a tale tied deeply to British wartime history, often overlooked by casual collectors. The 1945 British penny holds more than just its face value. It represents an era of resilience, sacrifice, and economic transformation during the final. Take you on a journey through the rich historical backdrop, striking design, production nuances, and collector intrigue that surrounds this iconic coin. In 1945, the United Kingdom was emerging from the shadows of World War II. The economy was strained, rationing was still in place, and the nation's coinage reflected wartime austerity. Coin production during the war was minimized to prioritize materials for the war effort. However, certain denominations, including the penny, continued limited production for practical use. The 1945 penny was minted primarily to meet the needs of circulation, particularly in the British colonies, where the penny was an essential unit of currency. Britain's minting facilities, such as the Royal Mint in London, had adapted to wartime constraints. Skilled labor shortages, metal scarcity, and bombings had made even basic coin production a challenge. The 1945 penny is thus part of the wartime coinage class. Coins produced under difficult circumstances, often with subtle differences compared to their pre-war versions, interestingly circulated within the UK. Instead, they were shipped to far-flung corners of the British Empire. Pattern makes the 1945 penny common in some regions and rare in others, adding a layer of complexity to its collector appeal. The obverse of the 1945 UK penny features a familiar face, King George VI, father of Queen Elizabeth II. His left-facing profile is dignified and stoic, suited for a wartime monarch. The portrait was designed by Thomas Humphrey Paget, a renowned British medalist whose initials HP often appear on the king's neck or base of the bust. The legend around the portrait reads, George's vid. G.Br. OMN. Rex. F. Cologne de George VI, by the King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. The reverse showcases the seated figure of Britannia, holding an iconography. Britannia is flanked by the denomination, 1 penny, and the date 1945 below. The background features waves, symbolizing the UK's naval power. The artistry is both patriotic and serene, coin meant to instill stability and confidence during uncertain times. The 1945 penny was struck in bronze, composed of 95.5% copper, 3% tin, and 1.5% zinc, a standard alloy used since the early 20th century. This alloy gave the coin its distinctive reddish-brown tone, which could darken with age and handling. While the 1945 penny doesn't have major known die varieties like some U.S. coins, a few subtle differences in strike sharpness and die alignment or NGC. Most circulated 1945 UK pennies today are valued modestly, ranging between $1 and $5 USD depending on wear and patina. However, high-grade examples, especially those in mint state, MS63 Plus, can fetch between $100 to $500 USD, depending on eye appeal. Exceptional specimens with full red color or proof-like fields have sold for upwards of $1,000, especially when slabbed and certified. Provenance and rarity in condition. Coins that remained uncirculated in colonial bank hoards or estate collections are particularly desirable. As time progresses, fewer pristine examples of King George VI pennies, including the 1945 issue, are frequently pursued by numismatists building sets. This ensures that the 1945 penny maintains its importance, even if it's not the rarest of the series. When collecting the 1945 penny, pay close attention to luster, rim integrity, and detail sharpness, especially in Britannia's trident and shield. Avoid coins with heavy corrosion or verdigris, as bronze is especially prone to environmental damage. Try to acquire certified examples if you're investing, as third-party grading adds legitimacy and resale value. Attend coin fairs, auctions, or connect with British coin dealers to find the best specimens. Keep a magnifier handy and examine lettering for anomalies. Small details can lead to big discoveries. The 1945 UK penny is more than just a bronze disc. It's a symbol of British resilience, wartime sacrifice, and global reach. It bridges the past and present, connecting collectors with a powerful chapter in world history. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner, this penny is a great entry point into British coin collecting. Its accessibility, historical richness, and potential for value appreciation make it a worthy addition to any collection. So next time you come across an old UK penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a tiny piece of history. Thanks for watching The Coin World. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Thank you for watching. The 1982 Liberty 5-cent coin, better known as the Jefferson nickel. You might have some in your pocket change, but did you know certain 1982 nickels can be worth thousands? Before we dive into the value, let's step back in time to understand the origins of the Jefferson nickel itself. Introduced in 1938, it replaced the Buffalo nickel, a beautiful but notoriously difficult coin to strike. The Jefferson nickel was designed by Felix Schlag, whose portrait of Thomas Jefferson was selected in a national design competition. His image of Jefferson remained on the obverse of the nickel for more than 6 decades. The reverse of the coin, featuring Monticello Jefferson's iconic home, also remained a fixture, although it underwent minor adjustments over the years. Fast forward to 1982. This year was a transitional period for the U.S. Mint, and not just for nickels. In fact, across several denominations, major composition and minting process changes occurred. For the penny in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from 95% copper to a zinc core with copper plating. But what about the 5-cent coin? It retained its composition 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, but changes in die quality and minting precision made some 1982 nickels particularly interesting. The 1982 nickel was minted at 2 facilities, Philadelphia no mint mark, and Denver marked with a D. Both produced circulation and uncirculated coins. Total mintage was massive, over 1.1 billion combined between both mints. But rarity is not always about quantity. It's about quality and mistakes. This year, die wear and misalignments led to some notable mint errors. Some 1982 nickels feature off-center strikes, double dies, or weak strikes due to worn dies. One of the most sought-after errors is the 198D nickel with full steps on Monticello. The full steps detail indicates a well-struck reverse and is considered a sign of high quality. Full steps coins are graded highly by collectors and can fetch prices far exceeding their face value, often hundreds of dollars, sometimes even thousands in high grades. The presence of full steps is crucial in grading Jefferson nickels. These steps, ideally 5 or 6 distinct lines, can only be seen on coins with sharp strikes. The Denver Mint strike. Philadelphia mint coins also face grading scrutiny. Since Philadelphia coins had no mint mark until 1980, 1982 was only the 3rd year they carried the P mark on nickels. Interestingly, the 1982 P nickel with full steps is slightly more common than its Denver counterpart, but still commands impressive prices. Another area of interest is double die obverse DD and reverse DDR errors. These occur when the coin is struck with a die that had been impressed more than once, slightly misaligned. While not officially listed for 1982 Jefferson nickels, some collectors report possible DDO varieties on the date and lettering. Off-center errors, where the design is struck away from the center of the coin, are also collected, especially when the date is visible. These are more aesthetic and vary in value. Another collectible error is the clipped planchette, where part of the coin is missing due to a misfeed in the blanking press. Coins with planchette cracks or lamination flaws are also found occasionally in the 1982 run, especially in lower quality rolls. Grading plays a significant role in valuation. A 1982 nickel in mint state, 65 condition with full steps can sell from $100 to over $1,000. NIS 67 full steps coins, certified by NGC or PCGS, are among the most valuable examples. They're incredibly rare, with only a few known for each mint. Proof versions of the 1982 nickel were not made, as no official proof sets were issued that year. This boosts demand for high-grade business strikes. Let's not forget coin rolls and mint sets. Original bankrupt rolls from 1982 are prime hunting grounds for error and full-step coins. So how do you tell if your 1982 nickel is valuable? First, examine it under a 10x magnifier. Look for full steps, sharp details, and any doubling in the lettering. Use a scale to ensure weight is correct. 1982 nickels should weigh about 5 grams Any major deviation might indicate a minting anomaly. Check for signs of damage. Versus true mint errors. Post-mint damage reduces value significantly, even if the coin looks unusual. Collectors seek raw examples for albums, but graded examples in slabs are the gold standard. For serious investment, auction sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay can show recent sale prices, helping gauge your coin's market value. Some standout sales include a 1982D nickel-graded MS67FS that sold for over $1,500 due to its immaculate strike and rarity. In comparison, a worn 1982 nickel from Pocket change is usually worth face value unless it hides a key error or sharp strike. Coin shows and numismatic clubs often have collectors searching for elusive full-step varieties of common dates like 1982. The Jefferson nickel series, though often overlooked, has grown in popularity due to the full steps, designation and affordability of most dates. For budget collectors, assembling a full run of Jefferson nickels including 1982 is a rewarding challenge. For advanced collectors, focusing on high-grade, full-step varieties adds depth and long-term value too. Their sets. The legacy of the 1982 Liberty 5-cent coin ties into a broader story of American coinage evolution from design shifts to technological improvement. Welcome back to the coin world, where history meets value in every coin. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a truly fascinating modern release, the 2022 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a commemorative masterpiece minted under the American Women Quarters program. The 2022 Liberty Quarter is not just another coin. It belongs to the American Women Quarters program, launched by the U.S. Mint to honor trailblazing women in American history, authorized by Public Law 116330. In 2021, the program mandated the release to 5 different quarter designs each year from 2022 to 2025. These quarters are historic because it's the first time honoring women from diverse backgrounds, fields of contribution. The obverse of all 2022 quarters. This updated obverse design was originally created by renowned sculptor Laura Garden Fraser in 1932, but was passed over for the now familiar John Flanagan design. Fraser's rendition finally got its moment to shine in the 2022 commemorative series, paying tribute not only to American women featured on the reverses but also to Fraser herself. Each of the 5 quarters released in 2022 showcases a different American woman on the reverse, with each design being unique and rich in symbolism. The first quarter features Maya Angelou, the acclaimed writer, poet, and civil rights activist. The second honors Dr. Sally Ride, America's first woman astronaut to travel to space. The third commemorates Wilma Mankiller, the first woman elected principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. The fourth celebrates Nina Otero Warren, a key figure in New Mexico's suffrage movement. And finally, the fifth honors Anna May Wong, the first Chinese-American Hollywood movie star. Each reverse was carefully crafted by U.S. Mint, artist input from historians, community leaders. Quarter portrays her with uplifted arms, inspired by her poetry and symbolic of her spirit and legacy. Behind her is a rising sun and a bird in flight, a direct nod to her memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Dr. Sally Ride's quarter shows her next to a window on the space shuttle. Spirit. Wilma Mankiller's quarter includes the Cherokee syllabary and a 7-pointed star, representing Cherokee sovereignty and unity. Nina Otero Warren's quarter includes imagery from the New Mexico landscape and the words, Voto para la mujer, vote for women, in Spanish. Anna May Wong's quarter is striking for its close-up portrait, evoking her iconic Hollywood glamour, with marquee lights framing her face. These commemorative quarters were minted at all 3 major U.S. mints, Philadelphia P, Denver D and San Francisco S. The circulation strikes came from Philadelphia and Denver, while San Francisco handled proof and silver proof coins. The proof versions were particularly popular among collectors due to their sharp strike and mirror-like background. The silver proof versions were minted using 99.9% fine silver, adding both aesthetic and intrinsic value. Mintages varied but remained in the tens of millions for circulation issues and in the hundreds of thousands for proof set in circulated condition. Most 2022 Liberty quarters are worth face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples, especially from rolls and mint sets, fetch a premium of $1 to $5 apiece. Silver, Proof quarters can sell for $15 to $25 each depending on the honorary and current silver prices. C can bring even more, especially those graded MS70 or PR70. Complete sets of 2022 American women quarters in proof or silver proof condition are hot sellers on the secondary market. As with any new coin release, collectors are on the lookout for minting errors and varieties. Some coins have been found with off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubling on the reverse features. These errors can significantly raise a coin's value, sometimes into the hundreds of dollars. For example, a die clash or doubled die on the Maya Angelou quarter could be worth upwards of $250 in top condition. Always and compare them with verified error listings. The 2022 Liberty Quarter Series marks a powerful shift in U.S. numismatics toward inclusion and representation. It's one of the few series that combines modern production with deep historical and cultural significance. These coins educate the public about forgotten or underrepresented figures in American history. They also reflect the changing face of American values, emphasizing equality, diversity, and empowerment. Because of this, they're not just coins, they're portable history lessons. Begin by checking your change. You might find these coins in everyday circulation. Next, visit local coin dealers or online platforms like eBay or numismatist for uncirculated or proof versions. You can also purchase. Serious collectors seek out slabbed examples with high grades and certification. You may also want to collect both clad and silver versions of each design. While modern coins often need time to mature in value, the 2022 series has unique appeal. Limited silver mintages and early errors can drive long-term collector demand. If kept in pristine condition, these coins could become sought-after pieces decades from now. Historical figures featured on these coins is also likely. Hobby it could be an investment. The 2022 Liberty Quarter Dollar Commemorative Series is more than a minting initiative. It is a storytelling platform that celebrates American values, struggles, and triumphs. Each coins. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the Coins World. Welcome back to the Coin World, Old Coin Review and Value. Today's episode dives into the intriguing story behind the 1967 Liberty 5-cent coin, a piece that might seem ordinary at first glance, but is packed with history and hidden value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, understanding coins, like the world of numismatics. These small pieces of metal are windows into the economic, political, and cultural atmosphere of their times. Let's take a journey through time and detail the history, production, rare varieties, and market values associated with this iconic piece of American currency. The 5-cent coin, more commonly known as the nickel, has a rich history that dates back to the post-Civil War era. But the version we know today, the Jefferson nickel, was introduced in 1938. By 1967, the Jefferson nickel had already been in circulation for nearly 3 decades. It replaced the earlier Buffalo nickel, which ran from 1913 to 1938. The year 1967 was a turbulent time in American history. The Vietnam War was in full swing, civil rights protests were rising, and inflation was beginning to impact the U.S. economy. These political and social pressures had a direct impact on coin production. The U.S. Mint was facing criticism for coin shortages and hoarding by collectors, which affected how coins were minted during the mid-1960s. One of the most notable changes was the temporary suspension of mint marks from 1965 through 1967. This was an effort to discourage hoarding and help coins circulate more freely. As a result, the 1967 5-cent coin lacks any mint mark, making it harder to determine which mint facility produced a particular coin. Though it may seem like a minor design tweak, this decision deeply influenced the way collectors view and categorize coins from this period. The 1967 Liberty 5-cent coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. On the obverse side, this design was created by sculptor Felix Schlag, whose vision was selected through 1838. Jefferson's portrait is clean and stoic. The date 1967. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's historic estate in Virginia. It's a detailed, classical architectural rendering, symbolizing Jefferson's legacy. The reverse also includes the words e pluribus unum, United States of America, and the denomination 5 cents. In terms of composition, the 1967 nickel consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, an alloy known for its durability and resistance to corrosion. This composition has remained consistent for decades, although wartime versions during World War II used silver to preserve nickel for military use. The 1967 Jefferson nickel was produced in massive quantities. To meet public demand and prevent coin shortages, the Philadelphia Mint handled the entire production for 1967. Differences in strike quality, die variety, and preservation state create significant gaps in value between common examples and rare collector pieces. Let's take a look at those rarities and errors that can elevate a seemingly average 1967 nickel into a coin worth thousands. Errors unintentional yet intriguing. Mistakes during the minting blank planchet, resulting in a skewed image. Another is the double die obverse DDO, where slight duplication occurs in the date or letters due to misalignment in the die. Hubbing process. Clipped blankets are also sought after these occur when a piece of the blank is missing due to a misfeed during cutting. A full steps designation on the reverse. Monticello image showing sharply struck. Stair steps can significantly boost value, especially in mint state condition. High grade examples with full steps have been known to fetch hundreds to even thousands at auction. Collectors should inspect 1967 nickels under magnification to identify such features, as they often go unnoticed in casual handling like all coins. The value of the 1967 Liberty 5 cent depends heavily on its grade. A standardized measure of wear and condition. Coins are typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 65 and higher mint state, representing coins with no visible wear. Circulated 1967 nickel might only be worth face value, but a gem uncirculated piece with full steps could be worth. Collectors often send their coins to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Certifications help coins sell at a premium in the numismatic market, especially in online auctions and coin shows. The 1967 Liberty nickel is a staple for Jefferson nickel set collectors, especially those building year-by-year collections. Because of the no mint mark policy, it holds a unique spot in the Jefferson series and is often discussed in educational numismatic circles. While it may not seem ultra-rare, its condition-sensitive value and potential for errors make it a smart coin to examine carefully. For long-term investors, holding on to high-grade examples can prove lucrative as the market matures and interest in mid-century coins grows. Did you know that the Jefferson nickel is one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history? It stayed nearly unchanged for over 65 years, until a redesign in 2006. The 1967 nickel, minted during the Summer of Love, is part of a broader cultural movement. Coins from this era are like tiny time capsules. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the Coin World. Today, we're diving into the rich history of a small yet significant coin, the 1975 Liberty 1 cent, also known as the 1975 Lincoln penny. You might be surprised to learn how much history, craftsmanship, and value can be packed into this tiny piece of copper. Stick with us as we unravel the fascinating story of this